from an agricultural perspective, the best definition that we can come up with would be market research is the systematic gathering, recording, and analyzing of data related to a specific market. And the market can be a specific product, it can be a specific area, or a specific place. So those are the basic definition of market research. And how can you do it? Well, number one, you have to understand there are two types of market research in that category. You have the basic research, which is only to expand your knowledge, right? And you have the applied research, which is when you have a specific problem, a pragmatic problem that you're trying to answer. So for the basic research, because it is to expand your knowledge, it's not very dynamic. It's just to understand basic information. You can do that just by a simple Google search. You can do that simply by checking the right sources, checking the right information. The basic internet search can help you with a basic research. But when it comes to an applied research, there are a couple of steps that you have to follow to respond to a pragmatic problem. Number one, you'll need a research question, right? So you have to have something to go for. You have to have a specific question that you're responding to. You have to have a problem at hand that you're trying to answer. And after you have the problem, you will have to look for the right research designed for you to respond to the question. You have to know what type of research will best fit the answer that you are looking for. And after you have the research design, you'll have to find the best data collection for you to find the information. So you can use surveys, you can use interviews, you can do your own research, your own online surveys and all that. So you basically design a data collection process for you to find the information. And after you collect the necessary data for you, you will have to analyze the data. Those are coming after you get all the data. You will have to analyze the data, look at the implications, look at how the data can respond to the specific problem that you had, and then see how you can manage the data, organize the data to respond to the specific research questions that you have. And after the data analysis, some people prefer to do a report, or the way you can do it after the data analysis, you will automatically get the answer to your question. So those are the steps when it comes to how you can do your own market research. Well, secondary research is basically when you collect information that has already been gathered, either by you or by other organizations. So we have multiple public and private companies that are doing research, and even government entities, agencies, working on different aspects of market. So they have a bunch of industry reports. They have public data available. You have journal articles. So secondary research relates to finding any type of sources of information that have been collected to you, and then see how they might respond to a question that you have. To sum up everything, secondary research is only using data that has already been gathered to respond to a specific question at hand. That's secondary research. And primary research is when you go out there and then collect your own information to respond to the question. So the difference is, the primary research, you do your own thing. You collect your own data and respond to the question, while secondary research, you just use other people's information to respond to your question. The primary value is, decision making, right? Because it helps having intelligence, having information. You can make better informed decisions. In agricultural, ag and food markets, they are not static. They are very dynamic. Things are changing over time. New partners are coming in. There are specific trends. So it is important to have those information for the decisions that you have to make within your organization. So generally speaking, we have like three key roles that market research play in an organization. The first one is descriptive, the second one is diagnostic, and the third one is predictive. So for the descriptive role is just to present what is happening. That's what market research does to you. It tells you what is actually going on. Market research presents you statement of facts of a specific industry. Example is what is the historical sales trend in the industry? What is currently happening? What are the consumer preferences for a specific product? So the descriptive role gives you what is happening. And the diagnostic role puts correlation between variables. So when you want to look at impact of something over your revenues, over your sales, look at the impact of two different factors. So the diagnostic function helps you to understand different actions and different data, right? So because markets are changing and because products are changing, so you might want to look at the impact of this product change or this product alteration on your sales or on your revenue. So the diagnostic function helps you to do that. And finally, the predictive function helps you to have a future, a forward looking, right? To see what is gonna happen and how you can prepare for changes in the market in the future. So that's why you do forecast, you look at how a certain decision can impact in the future. So those are the different roles and the value that market research has for an organization. First of all, we have to understand for ag and food marketing, what are the informations that we are talking about. So on the generally speaking, for ag and food marketing, market information are related to, food consumption, food expenditures. You need demographics, because it's important to understand the amount of mouths to feed, what to feed them, when to feed them, where, to feed them. So those are important aspects from a demographic perspective. And from an organization perspective, you need information on price trends, production, supply movements, right? So those are the type of information that are really needed. Now, where do you find the right information? So number one, you have to know there's a lot of public and private companies that dedicate themselves to the gathering of data and provide those market reports to clients, to businesses, and to producers. And if you want information about food expenditures and consumption patterns, the Bureau of Labor and Statistics have a lot of yearly reports where they have the consumption patterns and expenditure patterns among US consumers. And if you want information on demographics, on population, you can use the US Census Bureau. And then the big one that we have for ag and food, we have the USDA. So we have many agencies inside the USDA system that has a lot of those information. One of them is the USDA NAS, the National Agricultural Statistical Service. So they report basic statistical facts of the nation farm and food industry. So they prepare around 9,000 reports per year, right? On maybe 150 crops and around 40 livestock items. So they have a bunch of reports that are very useful, that are publicly available, that ag and food businesses can use. And the second one would be the USDA Economic Research Service, right? So if you want information on food consumption, on utilization of different food items, on ag, on crops, I think you can use the Economic Research Service. And they also have information on farm costs and efficiency. So the ERS comes very handy when it comes to those items. And then we have the Agricultural Marketing Service, which provide market news to producers, to manufacturers, to distributors. and to consumers of food products. And finally, there is the World Agricultural Outlook Board. So they basically provide information on commodities. They provide forecasts as well. So those are some of the tools that food businesses and ag producers have out there on the internet that they can use for their information.